Rocky in the pen, off we go. We're going to take little Katie to KTM out. This is Cassie's bike. It's the current spoke wheel model. I'm going to have a bit of a discussion as we're riding about the suspension on this bike and our little bit of an issue we had with the dealer. But we'll just get out here and close our gate and we'll see what the go is. And we'll catch you on the road. As I said, this is a 2324 KTM 390 spoke wheel or SW. It's got quick shifter installed. It's got a lowered rear shock absorber, like the whole shock absorber gets replaced with another one. It's not some internal tweak, and it's actually not that bad, the back end. Now, the front end on these little bikes is undersprung unless you weigh about 50 kilos. I have a picture I'll put up somewhere in the video of how what happened was we bought the bike and we said we wanted it properly lowered, factory lowered, and went to Choice Suspension at Kyneton in central Victoria. They sent it out to them to do the work, and Cassie was riding the bike and she was telling, oh, it's going bang, it's going bang, it's clunking, it's banging, and it feels like it's shooting off one way on the, like when it bottoms. And I said, bottoming? No. Why would it be bottoming? You're as light as a feather. She only weighs 55 at the most. And anyway, I went for a bit of a ride on the bike, and sure enough, hit the first bump and the bike deflected like that, like just literally just speared off to one side slightly, and big old bottom. And I thought, what's going on here? And I sort of know a fair bit about bikes, and I thought, bugger this, I'm taking it home and I'm going to pull it apart and see what's been done. I pulled the front forks out of it, stripped them down, and the preloaders they put in were, I'll show you a photo, one was that long, or two spaces together in one side fork leg, and the other side had one that thick. Oh my God. And then I find out, when I did all the fluids, that they were at least 40 mil down on the side that had no preloaders in it, and the other side was where it should be. So one side was under preloaded, plus it had lack of oil. Now, this is a professional shop. I did complain. They have since said that they'll replace seals if I blow seals in the future and a few things like that. But that's it. No. Oh, I'm sorry for doing that. I don't know what happened there, us being professional suspension techs and so on, and it being a brand new motorcycle. But it peeved us off quite a lot. But now I've put it back to standard height at the front. It's raked the bike a little bit. It's actually made it a bit more stable having the back end lowered. It's a little bit low for me. Cassie finds the bike quite intimidating with its power when it gets up in the revs a bit. It is actually quite goey for something that's such a little motor. It's got not much torque down low, like at this rev it's not much, but with the quick shifter you give it to it and then it goes, and then it's off. As quick as that. They actually get into it pretty good. And you can hear it just comes on song and takes off, all 44 horsepower of it. But for just general road riding, these things are brilliant. Once suspension's not doing stuff it's not supposed to be. But when you go out through the bush, if you're a beginner rider and you ride, just tootle around, which I'll show you. Like, I won't go fast. I'll ride like a beginner would probably ride. I'm habit formed. I don't use the quick shifter bugger all. I'm not a real fan of them. Like, they're cool and all that, but I still, I don't know, I just use the clutch. But see, here's a bump, and it's fine. See, it didn't bottom or anything. Soaked it up. Would have bottomed if I hadn't have fixed that. I was really annoyed that we paid for that to be done and I had to fix it. But as you can see, here I am doing, and the speedo's not too bad on this. It's only out, I think, about 3 or 4K, something like that. So if you're riding through the bush like this on a normal bush track, bit of big tree root there, you know, things like that, see, it soaks it up. It's not too bad. And it's not bad. Like, the cool thing about this, there is one thing, I don't know if you can read that on the dash, but it says off-road, ABS, ride control, and MTC, which is the traction control, is on. Because with Cassie riding this bike, she can get all ham-fisted. Like, if I go in a second and give it to it, like that, it will literally light up the back end if that's not on. But it's like a throttle control in a way. It sort of just takes that craziness out of the bike for a beginner. It's really good like that. But like, just this sort of riding, if this is all you do, well, that was a bit of a deep hole then, and it just boofed through it. If this is all you want to do on one of these bikes, is just cruise through the bush, they're brilliant. Especially for a lady, and because they're a little bit lighter. They're not super light, but she can actually pick this up herself if it falls on the ground, which is important. So I'm not bottoming at all at the moment because I'm only doing like 50 odd Ks. You could hear there, that was almost a bottom then, almost, on those little water races. So you can see that if you want to punt the thing along a little bit, now these things are on sort of a, I don't know, 70-30 tyre, I don't know what they'd be. So you can see it kicks the back end out and the MTC just kicks in and saves the bacon. So if you ride at this sort of speed, like 90k, and the brakes were great, you know, you can get your foot out and see the traction control just stops it going crazy sideways. It's brilliant. I'll rate that. And the off-road mode, it sort of, what it does, you can see it cut the engine just slightly, but it makes the throttle more responsive. But if I'm doing this speed, like what's that, 75 odd Ks, and I hit some water weight race or something, like washout or something, it will bottom big time if you ride them at this pace. And I don't know that that's good for longevity for the forks. Obviously it's not. But there's a little demonstration if you're just riding like this. And a lot of people ride like this. Now it looks like I've got to go and get fuel, which is alright. I had plans on doing that. It's very good on fuel. It'll do. If you ride like this sort of riding, like I am now, 400 Ks out of a tank. If you get up at a fair bit, I think about 340, 350, something like that. Even with these tyres, there's somebody there on a big old beast. I think it might have been a Victory or something. I don't know. But it's a nice little bike. I'd rather Personally, if you're a bit better of a rider, if you can ride a little bit faster, I've rather the 300 Rally any day of the week. Just what the suspension's done on that, it's just faster in the bush. You can just push it so fast if you really want to. I've actually wanted to put my 300 Husqvarna 2-stroke front forks in this and pull a shock out that I happen to have on the shelf off an enduro bike, off a 500, and put in the back of this and just raise the whole bike and then take it out and see what it'd be like. So just check it a little bit first, make sure it's not going to be unstable or anything. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun, and Cassie went, no, you won't be doing that, Mr. Evil. So I went, okay. But anyway, I'll hit the bitumen, go and get some fuel, and then I'll show you guys what it's like on the road in the next video.